Off Limits is the money podcast that blows up stereotypes, showing you that managing money doesn't have to be hard.
We want you to thrive, not only with your money, but in every part of your life.
What you will get out of this podcast is real, relatable, and relevant tips and strategies that you can apply today. Hi, I'm Donald Raymond, and this is
Christine Spiak. We are money coaches, business owners, and colleagues who are passionate about helping you become more of who you are. So if you're ready, join us. I'm thinking about my teenage daughter, and I'm thinking, and this may be like a far stretch, but just stay with me for a minute. I'm thinking about how teenagers know everything, right? There's nothing that you can tell them. There's nothing that you can teach them. And the other day, my daughter gets into the car and she goes, "Mom, I didn't know this." And I was like, "Really? You didn't know something?" I was like, "Okay, so with your 18 years on this earth, I'm like blown away that
how
you didn't know."
How could there be something you don't know?
And so she kind of like smirked at me and, maybe did like the eye roll.
Oh, sure.
And then, fast forward to another conversation. She's getting ready to go off to college and they have an orientation coming up and it's voluntary. And she was like, I don't think I want to go. What's the point of going? Like, it's going to be a waste of my time. And so I'm like immediately wanting to like, what do you mean? What's the point of going? You're going off to college for the first time. And so we've had like a couple conversations. Now, part of her, apprehension of going may be a lot deeper than just going for the day to learn about the college. But as I was talking with my husband this morning, in fact, what I want her to be able to take away from going to this orientation is you're going to learn something that's going to set you up for success as you transition into college for the first time in your life.
That's right.
So the next time she and I, or the three of us, have this conversation about whether she should or shouldn't go to the orientation, I'm going to walk her back to when she was a freshman in high school and they, opened up the building. They let you come in with your schedule, try to find your classes all for the first time and walk around and get to know the space and the community of people and teachers and everything before the first day of school. And this is very similar to that. But sometimes we need to be reminded of that, right? We don't know everything.
That's right.
And if we don't know, it's completely okay, right? We can only take ourselves so far without hiring a coach, working with a mentor, seeking help from a friend or another type of professional. There's only so much we know. We have to learn from other people in life to get further.
And you said we don't know what we don't know. There's another version of that, which is if you keep doing what you've always done, you'll keep getting what you've always gotten, right? And so along those same lines, there's a book I think we're going to put in the description of this show. And but if we think about just taking another step further, this idea of insanity, right? We say all the time, if you keep doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results, then this is the definition of insanity. And we all have a certain amount of information, a certain amount of inputs, and we've made decisions. And every time we make a decision, we learn from that decision, whether we learn on purpose or we learn, the hard way, so to speak. And what you're saying is so valuable. This idea that we don't know everything, and that's not just okay, it's necessary, because what we want to do is keep learning. And the only way we can keep learning is if there's something to learn. So I think there's a lot of information, there's a lot of value in really just this idea of there's something else, there's something different, there's something better. And, if I'll throw this out to anybody that's worked with a coach before and had maybe a bad experience. They might not have been the right coach for you, because I think there's so many, Christine and I are not the same. We're not going to coach you the same. We'll probably get similar results, but we're not going to approach it the same way. And that's good, because not everybody's in the same situation. Not everybody responds the same way to the inputs, right? Not everybody is looking for that same strategy, those same techniques as they apply these different ideals to their life. And so you want to find somebody not only that you trust, but that aligns with your direction, that aligns with your ability to process this information and, grasp it and take action. And so you might need somebody that, if you're working with me, I'm just going to be honest, I'm looking for people that are very highly motivated to change, because I don't want to say that I'm impatient, but I probably want you to succeed. And this is going to sound weird, but I probably am going to want you to succeed even more than you want to succeed as we're going through a process. And I don't want to be a hindrance. I don't want to be in the way of your progress forever. And so I want to get out of the way as fast as possible. My plan, my mission with every client is to set them free. I'm a catch and release, right? So I want to set them free as quickly as possible and put them back out there with new tools and allow them to grow and use those tools, knowing that I might catch that fish again, right? They might get to a different point in life and now they're prospering and they've hit a new threshold of what they're able to do on their own. And not saying that I know what that threshold is or I'm, in a position to be able to remove that barrier, but if they come back and we have this conversation and I'm given these new data points, then I can review their situation, and any coach can review that situation without the history, right? Only knowing where I left you and what your goals were then. And sometimes there's a lot of value in going back and reviewing the notes and saying, hey, the last time we met, 18 months ago, this was your goal. Has that changed? Maybe the answer is yes, maybe the answer is no, but that will shift how we approach the solution. And so, just having that partner, again, I think it just, for me, it really comes back to community, that partnership, using me for a little while or using a coach for a little while, and then applying these skills on your own and seeing where that takes you.
Yes, absolutely. And I think you made a really great point too, is not every coach or professional is the right person for you. I know when I hired my coach, right off the top of my head, I can think of 3 that I had interviewed, seeing, okay, who is going to be the right fit for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I landed on the one who ultimately I thought was, and had a great relationship with during our 6 months of working together.
Yeah.
And now here I am at the other side of that. And absolutely, hands down, I can say it was a great experience. I learned a lot. I pushed myself further than I thought I would or could. And now I'm reaping the rewards from taking that time of investing in myself. And it's exciting because it's like, where can I go next now that I've had this experience?
Yes.
And I think for anybody who's listening, right, they're on that edge. Like I say all the time, I want to work with people who are ready right now, right? So whether it's they're sick and tired of being sick and tired, they're in my shoes of, I just want to do better, but I don't know how. Maybe it's the analysis paralysis type of individual who they can't get out of their own way, right? Whatever is bringing you to that point of being ready right now, find the right professional to work with so you can thrive.
Yeah.
You can remove whatever stressor or whatever you feel is holding you back or limiting your potential. Work with that person, because I know for myself, and I'll speak for Donald too, I don't think I'm going out on a limb. We truly want you to thrive, not just in your life, but he says it all the time, like, what is that legacy you're leaving? How are you touching other people's lives? And what is the ripple effect of that?
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Off Limits.
Beyond the podcast, we are money coaches who want to help you.
So if you are looking for help managing your money, use the links in the description below to contact either of us and learn how coaching can help you thrive.
Lastly, please help us to spread the word by subscribing, leaving a comment, and sharing our podcast with your friends and family.